step, you're going to draw some guidelines all the way across your paper. Line up the ruler so it's straight. Draw a guideline. You want your guidelines to be light. I'm drawing darker so that they show up on camera. Next, you're going to start drawing block letters. Block letters means that if it's a straight line, you're going to draw against your straight edge. And then if it's a curvy line, you're going to freehand it as best you can. For a C or an O or a Q, anything like that, you want to make sure you start with your outside curve and that it touches the top and the bottom, and then you're going to match the inside curve. And then I'm going to draw these straight lines against the straight edge. Okay, I'm going to draw an S over here. It's a little harder to draw. It starts off as an outside line. Now this line's going to turn into an inside line. And down here it starts off outside and turns into an inside. You want to make sure that your line, so that your letters don't touch each other, and measure it out roughly so you can make sure that they're all going to fit onto your page. You want to have your first name. If your first name consists of 3 letters, you'll need to add one more thing. You can add your last initial, you could have a star, you could have a heart, something like that. But you need to have at least 4 letters or objects. Okay, once you have your letters done, the first thing you need to do is put in a vanishing point. You can put that anywhere towards the bottom of your paper. Then you're going to start drawing your lines back to the vanishing point. So anywhere 2 lines come together and they make a corner, could be an outside corner, could be an inside corner, where it doesn't immediately go through your letter. So this immediately would go through, so you don't draw that one. Remember, on curves, I'm going to go to where it just disappears underneath, and then I'm going to stop when I hit the A. So you're going to keep doing that for all of your letters. Okay, before I do the next step, I'm actually going to erase every part of the guideline that's not part of the letter. So here it's part of the letter. Here it is not part of the letter. So you're going to go through and erase all of those sections that are not. Okay, once you have all of your lines pulled off, you're going to decide how deep do you want those to be, these letter-shaped boxes. So right now I'm going to put my straight edge on that first guideline, and I'm going to slide it down, and I'm going to decide it's going to be this big. So I'm going to draw a line all the way across. Okay, so now anything that is part of the letter, where it was the guideline, is already completed over here. So So I'm going to start by going around the letters. The bottoms need to be parallel with the top, so I'm going to put my straight edge here, slide it back so that I can get a parallel line. So this is the bottom, and it's parallel to that top. So once you've had your project checked, you're going to start coloring. And what you're going to do is choose either warms or cools for the faces of your letters. So I'm going to choose warms. So that means that I'm going to use orange, I'm going to use yellow, and I'm going to use red. And I could use pinks too, but we don't have that at school. So what you're going to do then is start coloring. Now you're not going to color these solid because that won't be quite as interesting to look at. So you could do stripes, you could do circles, you could do flames. You could color that any way that you want as long as it's not solid colors. And right now I'm just going to do the faces, the original letters that I did with warms, and then I'll do the sides with cools. Okay, so for this section you're going to do cools, green, blue, purple. You can decide if you want to do cools on the letters, the original letters, or cools on the sides, but you'll do the opposite.
Do we need this? No, this.
So I'm going over these with black so that they show up nice and clear. So I'm lining my corners back up with a vanishing point to draw them back in accurately.